When we imagine the life of the Buddha and his enlightened disciples, we often see a picture of perfect, unshakable serenity. We imagine them sitting peacefully, free from the mental chatter and emotional storms that plague the rest of us. But the early scriptures tell a different, more human story. They show monks struggling with doubt, getting lost in daydreams, feeling immense boredom, and being agitated by restlessness. The Buddha even gave a famous discourse on how to handle drowsiness during meditation. The path they walked was not a magical escape from the messy human mind. It was a direct, courageous confrontation with it. And there is perhaps no better way to understand that journey and to walk a few steps of it ourselves than by undertaking a 10-day silent Vipassana retreat. This leads to a question many of us who are drawn to the path eventually ask: what really happens inside the silence? What can a person realistically expect to experience during those 10 days? And what are the greatest challenges one will face? The idea can be both thrilling and terrifying. 10 days with no phone, no books, no talking, just you and your own mind. It's a journey into the unknown. Today, we're going to offer a traveler's guide to the inner landscape of a 10-day silent retreat. We'll walk through the typical arc of the experience, the initial struggles, the deep work, and the final integration. And we'll talk honestly about the challenges you can expect to meet along the way. It's important to say that what follows is a general map, not a promised itinerary. Every retreat is a deeply personal journey, and no two are ever the same. However, there is a common arc to the experience, a progression that many people find themselves traveling through. It can be broken down into 3 phases. Phase 1. Days 1 to 3. Taming the monkey. The first few days are often the most challenging. The primary instruction is simply to observe the natural breath, a practice called anapanasati. The goal is to build a foundation of concentration. But the body and mind will almost certainly rebel. The first major challenge is often physical pain. After years of sitting in chairs, the body protests against hours on a cushion. The knees, the back, the hips, they will all make their presence known. The instruction is not to fight the pain, but to observe it as just another changing sensation. The second challenge is the sheer, untamed wilderness of the mind. With no external distractions, no phones, no books, no conversation, the monkey mind goes into a frenzy. You will plan your entire future, relitigate old arguments, and have songs you haven't heard in 20 years get stuck on a loop in your head. It can feel like you're going backwards, but this is a vital part of the process. Think of your mind as a jar of muddy water. For years, you've been shaking it. The first step isn't to remove the mud, but simply to hold the jar still and let the mud begin to settle. Phase 2. Days 4 to 7. The Great Unveiling. Around the 4th day, the practice typically shifts to Vipassana, or insight meditation. Now, with a slightly more stable mind, the instruction is to expand your awareness from the breath, to observe all the sensations and processes of the body and mind with a balanced, curious attention. As the mind quiets down, your sensitivity increases. You start to notice things you've never been aware of. But this clarity also brings the next great challenge: intense, unresolved emotions. With the lid of busyness finally taken off, deep-seated grief, anger, fear, or sadness can rise to the surface. It can be incredibly difficult, but this is the heart of the purification process, allowing these old patterns to finally be seen, felt, and released without being suppressed or acted upon. Through this, the core insights of the practice begin to dawn, not as ideas, but as direct experiences. You feel a pain in your knee arise, intensify, and vanish. You watch a powerful emotion crest like a wave and then subside. You see thoughts appear from nowhere and disappear just as quickly. You are experiencing anicca, or impermanence, directly. Phase 3, days 8 to 10, returning to the world. The final phase is about integration and softening. The intensity of the insight practice is often balanced with the introduction of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. After days of sharp analytical observation, metta is a balm for the heart. You cultivate feelings of goodwill, first for yourself, then for friends, neutral people, difficult people, and finally, all beings. This practice balances the wisdom of insight with the essential quality of compassion. By this stage, many find that a new baseline of mental quiet has been established. The mud in the jar has settled, and the water is clearer. The final challenge is preparing for re-entry. On the 10th day, the silence is broken, and you learn to carry this newfound mindfulness off the cushion and back into the beautiful, complex, and messy world. So, you've been through this profound 10-day journey. You've sat with pain, faced emotional storms, and touched a place of deep inner quiet. But now you're back in the world of traffic jams, work deadlines, and family dynamics. What was the real point? The point is this: the retreat is not an escape from your life. It is a training exercise for your life. The patience you cultivated sitting with a painful knee for an hour is the exact same patience you can now bring to a frustrating meeting at work. The equanimity you developed by watching intense emotions rise and fall without reacting is the same equanimity that allows you to pause before responding in a difficult conversation. You have now proven to yourself, through direct experience, that you do not have to be a slave to every impulse and feeling. And the clarity you gained from observing the frantic monkey mind is the same clarity that helps you notice when you're getting lost in a spiral of anxiety or anger. The retreat gives you a new baseline, a memory of what a quiet mind feels like. It recalibrates your inner compass so that even when you get lost in the storms of life, you have a better sense of which way is north. You don't need to wait for your next 10-day retreat to touch this inner refuge. You can create a miniature version at any time. Let's call this practice the 5-minute retreat. Sometime in the middle of a busy day, intentionally give yourself this gift. Step away from your desk. You can go to your car, a quiet corner of the office, or even a bathroom stall. For just 5 minutes, you will recreate the core of the retreat. Go silent. Close your eyes and unplug from all input. No phone, no tasks. Anchor to the body. Bring your full, kind attention to the feeling of your breath moving in your body, or the sensation of your feet on the floor. Observe what is. Just as you did on the cushion, simply notice what is present in your experience. Is there tension? A thought? A sound? Restlessness? You don't need to fix or change it. Just let it be, held in your awareness. Offer goodwill. Before you finish, silently offer a phrase of loving kindness to yourself. May I be peaceful. May I be well. This small act is a powerful way to reset your nervous system and remind yourself that the silence and clarity you found on retreat is never truly gone. It is always right here, just beneath the surface noise. A 10-day silent retreat is not a magical solution that will erase all your problems. It is an intensive training period. Think of it like a deep tissue massage for the mind. The process can be uncomfortable, but it releases knots of tension you didn't even know you were carrying, leaving you feeling lighter and more free. The ultimate goal is not what happens during the 10 days, but how it informs all the other days of your life. The struggles the ancient monks faced are the same human struggles we face today. A retreat is simply a dedicated, supportive space where we can learn to meet them with a little more wisdom and a lot more kindness. For those of you who have sat a retreat, what was the biggest lesson you brought back into your daily life? For those who haven't, what is your biggest question or fear? Please share in the comments below. If this exploration was helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the Mindful Compass. Thank you for traveling this path with me. May you have the courage to meet your own mind with kindness, and may you find peace in the midst of your beautiful, everyday life.